We have covered here a lot of incredibly outrageous, cruel, and generally bad behavior on the part of Amazon. And in particular, we've taken an interest in the way that they track, monitor, and outright spy on their blue-collar workers. Of course, their white-collar office workers don't get quite the same treatment. There are some new leaked documents that have stunning new details in this regard. This is from Vice's Motherboard. They got a hold of these leaked documents. The major takeaway here is that Amazon has actually hired Pinkerton agents from the notorious Pinkerton union-busting agency, which has a horrible and storied history of being basically hired goons for corporate America to spy on their warehouse workers and track any sort of labor unionization efforts. This is happening here and around the world. A really stunning and outrageous revelation, although honestly, knowing some of the tactics that they employ that we've reported on here before, not all that surprising.
Here's a direct quote. Documents reveal Amazon intelligence analysts keep close tabs on how many warehouse workers attend union meetings, specific dissatisfaction with warehouse conditions, such as excessive workloads, and cases of warehouse worker theft from a bottle of tequila to $15,000. The documents in general show the internal security and surveillance apparatus, and this is why concentrated power is scary. When you have a $1 trillion corporation, or you have a multi-billion, hundreds of billion dollar with limitless amounts of resources at their disposal and not a very robust legal system to protect their workers and citizens, this is what happens. I mean, it's really terrifying. You're the one who were telling me, this is the first time I learned about this, the heat map within Whole Foods to make sure that they will use heat signatures to see whether people are gathering. I mean, that's insane. Like, that is so terrifying to me. And that's happening, it seems, all across this company and all of their warehouses, Whole Foods, and so much more in order to make sure they're controlling their workforce. And remember, they're doing better than ever during the pandemic. Well, that's the scary part.
And this is why all of their rhetorical embrace of movements like progressive movements like Black Lives Matter is so incredibly hollow. Amazon employs so many Black working class people, and this is how they actually treat their lives in real life. Not to mention the horribly abusive, the conditions that people are subject to, the minute they step into the warehouse, the way they're tracked, the way they're monitored, the way that their bodies are physically pushed to the brink, and all efforts at unionization completely quashed. It's absolutely immoral. You cannot call yourself a progressive or socially conscious company when you are treating your working class workers in this manner. And to your point, Amazon is like as large as a nation state, and
bigger in some ways.
So they have their own CIA. That's what this is. And we had reported before, and I think this is some follow-on reporting from what we had originally talked about. They had posted these job listings that were for an intelligence specialist.
That's right. We did
to monitor workers, and they just posted it up on their website like this is fine and no big deal. Yeah. And after people freaked out, they took it down. Well, this report and these new leaked documents give you a window into what those jobs and what those job descriptions actually entailed. No, it wasn't a mistake. They didn't accidentally invent a job category and mistakenly put it up on their website. Obviously, having an internal security and intelligence apparatus is something that they do a standard operating procedure to make sure, what are they aiming at here? They are trying to make sure that their workers stay powerless, that they stay as one-off individuals with no collective strength, because that's the only way that you have ultimately any power in their workplace, and they will go to any ends to make sure that their workers stay completely powerless.
Yeah, they really will. And I want people to take that away. It's terrifying, too, because you can see how when you have amoral surveillance apparatuses in the private sector, which is what we have, this is what happens. It's stuff like this that happens. There was another story that came on my radar. NVIDIA and Intel, which are some of the largest chip makers in the United States, are making custom chips for a Xinjiang supercomputer, which keeps tracks of Uyghur prisoners.
Oh my
and
God.
They don't care. They literally don't care. Apple is today lobbying actively against sanctions on forced labor in China. out in the open. And it's like, this is the stuff that I think really scares me.
Yeah, and by the way, who's one of the top execs at Amazon these days?
Yeah, Jay Carney.
Jay Carney.
Former spokesperson for Vice President Biden.
Yeah, and so if you wonder, too, why they have so much power in this country and are able to operate with such impunity, it's because they've got direct access to all, whether it's Democrat or Republican, all the channels of power within this country.
Absolutely.
All right, that does it for us today. We hope you all have a great day prepping for Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there, and we will see you tomorrow.
That's right. We're going to have an astrophysicist, the National Science Foundation's Dr. Joe Pesch, look back at our interview with author Zephyr Teachout on her book Break 'em Up, Recovering Our Freedom from Big Ag, Big Tech, and Big Money. It's a good one to remember by. And remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. And don't forget to like and share as well. We will see you all very soon.
Enjoy, everybody.